Behind the Red Line, Episode 67. The Somerton Park Escort Murder, the woman the sea tried to keep. Adelaide, Australia, 1990. The waves washed her ashore, but the truth never surfaced. Somerton Park, a quiet beach suburb in Adelaide. The kind of place where the mornings smell like salt, and the nights carry the sound of waves hitting rock. But on a cold winter morning in 1990, those waves delivered something back to shore. A woman, young, alone, lying face down in wet sand. She was an escort, a mother, a woman who deserved safety. Her name was Allison Rinehart, and her killer was never brought to justice. This is Behind the Red Line, Episode 67, The Somerton Park Escort Murder. Allison Rinehart was 29 years old, a single mother, a sex worker trying to keep her life stable in one of Adelaide's roughest eras. She lived in the city's inner suburbs, a place full of hidden corners, offices by day, seedy encounters by night. She wasn't reckless. She wasn't irresponsible. She was cautious, careful, and known by friends as someone who looked out for other workers. Allison did what many survival sex workers did in the 1990s. Took private bookings, kept notes of clients, and tried to stay invisible. But predators love invisibility. On the night of August 28, 1990, Allison told friends she had a client, not a stranger, someone she'd seen before. He wasn't considered dangerous, just quiet, polite, eager. She left her flat around 8 p.m., wearing simple clothes, hair tied back, carrying only the essentials. A friend remembered her last words, "I'll be back before midnight." She never returned. The next morning, August 29th, a man walking his dog saw something unusual in the sand. At first, he thought it was seaweed. Then he saw an arm, then hair, then the pale skin of a lifeless woman half buried by the tide. Allison was lying face down, her body dragged by water, her clothes soaked, her shoes missing. Police identified her quickly. A missing woman found hours later. But the scene was strange. No signs of drowning, no bruising from waves, no defensive wounds. She didn't die in the ocean. She was placed there. The autopsy raised more questions than answers. Allison had minor bruising, but nothing fatal. No major fractures, no signs of drowning, no drugs in lethal levels. The official cause of death was undetermined, but detectives believed she died of manual strangulation or compression of the neck during a violent encounter. She had the hallmarks of a rapid, controlled killing. A killing meant to avoid mess. A killing meant to avoid leaving clues. and then her body was dumped, not tossed, but placed into the sea, as if the killer believed the tide could erase the truth. Investigators quickly identified the last man who saw Allison alive, the client she had planned to meet. He was questioned, interviewed multiple times. He said she left his place around 9:30 p.m., alive, safe. He had scratches on his arm. He said they were from his cat. He had inconsistent statements, but no forensic evidence tying him to the murder. He was never charged. Police believed he knew more. Sex workers believed he knew more. But knowing and proving are two different things. Allison's murder wasn't isolated. In the late 1980s and early 90s, Adelaide experienced a disturbing pattern. Sex workers attacked, assaulted, disappearing. Some turned up in parklands, some in alleys, some never found. Police at the time were overwhelmed with cases. The city had multiple active predators, the family murders, the Snowtown killers later, unsolved street attacks. The underbelly was thriving. Women were vulnerable, and predators hunted those living at society's edge. Allison's death fit a pattern, one Adelaide recognized too late. Three main theories emerged about what happened to Allison Rinehart. 1. The client did it. He was the last to see her alive. His alibi was shaky. His behavior was inconsistent. 2. A serial predator targeting escorts. Several attacks at the time shared eerie similarities. Nighttime abductions, strangulation attempts, bodies left near water or parks. Victims connected to the sex trade. 3. Dumped to mimic the sea. The placement of her body suggested staging. Someone wanted it to look like drowning. Someone who knew the tides. Someone local. But again, no charges, no arrests, no justice. As weeks passed, the case lost momentum. Witnesses forgot details. Evidence washed away. Suspects walked free. The file grew cold, and Allison's name slipped into Adelaide's long list of unsolved cases. Her family received no answers. Her friends received no closure. The city simply moved on. Allison Rinehart was more than the way she died, more than the labels placed on her, more than the headlines. She was a woman working to survive, a mother trying to provide a human being who deserved safety. But on a winter morning in 1990, the sea carried her back to shore, as if refusing to hide the violence done to her. Her killer is somewhere out there, maybe still alive, maybe watching the tide roll in, knowing what he did. This is Behind the Red Line, Episode 67, The Somerton Park escort murder